everyone. Welcome to the Senate chamber. Um, Before we call this session to order, I would like to inform everyone and, of course, the viewing public that by order of rank, the chairman of the delegation is not able to join us today. So, I, being the vice chair, I will be presiding today's session. And I also would like to recognize the presence of our good mayor from Tinian, Edwin P. Odon. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for joining us. Also assisting the delegation for today's session is Legal Counsel Joe Bermudez, the clerk, delegation clerk Joan Kaipat, IT Mr. Kamatsu, and of course LJ Castro, who is responsible with the media and photos for the bureau, for the legislature. The Sergeant at Arms, Mr. Ben Terlai, and Journal Clerk, Baby San Nicolas Hoku, and our Senior Legislative Assistant, Jolene Tagabao. So, with that, this is the fifth day, fourth regular session. I wish to call this session to order. Today is Friday, December 27th at 2:50 p.m. here in the Senate chamber and Capitol Hill, Saipan, at Jesus P. Mafnas Legislative Building. At this time, I would like to ask everyone to please rise for a moment of silence. At this time, the chair recognizes the clerk to please call the roll.
Senator Cruz.
Here.
Chairman Hofschneider.
Egi.
Representative San Nicolas.
Present.
Mr. Chairman, all three members are present.
With three members present, we have the quorum to conduct this session. And before we move to item B, the chair recognizes the floor leader to effectuate a proper motion to suspend the order of business to add communications from Mayor of Tinian Aguiguan. Floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I move to suspend our pertinent rules so we can include two items in our order of business. The first item is Mayor's Communication number 23-67 under item G. And the second item is Standing Committee Report number 23-01 under item N. So move.
Second. So offered by the floor leader for amendment of the order of business to include the two communications, and has been seconded. Discussion.
Ready.
Clerk, I would like to call the roll for adoption of this request.
Senator Cruz.
Yes.
Chairman Hofschneider.
Again,
Representative San Nicolas.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, all three members voted yes.
with three members voting in the affirmative, the request to amend the order of business for placement of two communications hereby approved. Thank you, members. At this time, we'll head on down to item B, public comment. At this point in time, I wish to recognize any member of the public to offer inputs or comments with regards to any of the items on today's order of business. I wish to recognize our good mayor, Mayor Edwin P. Odon.
Thank you and good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Chairman Hofschneider, and members of the delegation. Chair, I'm here to testify regarding House Local Bill 23-71, which proposes to the appropriation of 18,000 in poker fees for the second senatorial district. Uh, After reviewing the bill, I'm pleased to express my support for the appropriation and its underlying intent. I do have a suggestion for consideration, which is to allocate 12,000 to the mayor's discretionary account instead of operations. This allocation would enable our office to address outstanding obligations directly impacting certain functions and operations of the municipality. The remaining funds designated for the Tinian Casino Gaming Control Commission will be crucial for their personal expenses as they are currently facing financial difficulties. I would like to also take this opportunity to thank the delegation and members for your understanding and the current challenges that the municipality is facing and recognize the needs to address them. Should you have any question, please let me know. And thank you again. And I wish you all Feliz Pascuas and Año Nuevo. And if I may, Mr. Chairman and members, I just noticed on your agenda also on letter F, this is from the governor. I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to the governor for signing this House Local Bill 23-69, Draft 1, into law. That also is a very, very critical funding source of funding for our gaming commission on Tinian Gaming Commission on our island. As you know, the casino operator is going through some difficulties, and there are challenges to that establishment, and we are all trying our best to find ways to have that small industry continue moving forward. As the days come by, we will brief, and if anything comes, any message comes from any more information coming from the operator. Thank you again, and please Pascua Año Nuevo para todos.
Jesus Masi, Mayor O'Don. The floor is still open for any member of the community to offer a comment on any of the items before the delegation this afternoon. There being nothing further, I wish to close this portion of our agenda and move on to item C under adoption of journal. And I recognize the floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is for the adoption of Tinian again local delegation journal number 23-13, fourth day, fourth regular session dated November 25th, 2024. So move.
It's been a motion offered by Floor Leader Cruz for the adoption of Tinian and Aguiguan Legislative Delegation Journal number 23-13. Do I hear a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Being seconded by Representative San Nicolas. Under discussion. Ready? All those in favor for the motion for the adoption of journal number 23-13, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. The journal number 2313 is hereby adopted. Under item D, introduction of local bills, and the chair recognizes Representative Patrick San Nicolas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. House Local Bill number 23-71 was officially introduced in the last session of the House of Representatives. Is to appropriate 18,000 from revenues collected from poker fees in the second senatorial district and for other purposes, introduced by myself. With that, Mr. Chairman, I yield.
Thank you, Congressman San Nicolas. And before I move on to the next item, I wish to call for a short recess. Okay, we're back in session. This time, the chair recognizes the floor leader to offer the appropriate motion for the placement of House Local Bill 23-71 on today's bill calendar. Floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to suspend our pertinent rules so we can place House Local Bill number 23-71, and this is to appropriate $18,000 from revenue collected from poker fees in the second Senatorial District and for the purposes on today's calendar for delegation action. So move.
Motion is being offered by the floor leader for the suspension of order of business and the rules to place House Local Bill 23-71 on today's bill calendar. Do I hear a second?
I second the motion.
All those in favor or correction, clerk, please call the roll for the approval of the suspension of order of business.
Senator Cruz,
Yes.
Representative San Nicolas.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman,
Again,
all three members voted yes.
so 3 members voting yes and approve the floor leader's motion to place House Local Bill 23-71 into today's bill calendar. Thank you, floor leader. Moving ahead on item E, introduction of local resolutions. Clerk.
We have none, Mr. Chairman.
Messages from the governor.
We have one, Governor's Communication number 2324.
Any comment from the members? Messages from the mayor of Tinian and Aguiguan.
Mr. Chairman, we have four, Mayor's Communication number 2364 through 2367.
Any comments from the members? Messages from Tinian and Aguiguan Municipal Council.
We have none, Mr. Chairman.
Reports of communications from heads of departments and agencies.
There's none, Mr. Chairman.
Item J, House of Representative Communication.
We have one, House Communication number 2329.
Discussion. Senate Communication. Any members would like to offer Senate Communication? Delegation matters. Clerk.
Mr. Chairman, we have three delegation matters 2372 to 2374.
Any comments from the members? Miscellaneous communications.
We have none, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, reports of standing committees, and I believe we have one item before us this afternoon, and at this time I recognize the floor leader for the appropriate motion for the adoption of standing committee report 23-01, reporting on House Local Bill 23-54. Floor leader Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is for the adoption of Standing Committee Report number 23-01 in reference to House Local Bill 2354. So move.
Second.
An motion for the adoption of Standing Committee Report number 23-01 has been seconded. Discussion. Before I call for the adoption voice vote for the consistency and for clarification, this committee report is born as a result of the public hearing that the delegation held earlier this week to hear the testimonials and comments from the citizens or the residents of the island of Tinian, of which our good mayor presented his testimony during the hearing, as well as the RDH, Resident Department Head of Department of Finance, Ms. Melissa Kiningok, and the Customs and Biosecurity personnel, Mr. Richard Lazaro. So As a result of that public hearing, the delegation had flagged some clarifying provisions of such legislation, of which we stand to for consideration today, and to improve the contents and the intent of the bill. So, in the verbiage and the content of the report is attached along with the legislation. One of which is to clarify that the heading is to address the much needed help for the second senatorial district, issues with the construction materials that are being imported from outside the CNMI. So, with that, clerk, all those in favor for the adoption of the committee report, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Standing committee report 23-01 is hereby adopted. And before I proceed on to the next item, I wish to go for a very short recess, please. We're back in session, and before we proceed over to the next item, my chair recognizes the floor leader for the appropriate motion for the placement of the legislation on today's bill calendar. Senator Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Motion to suspend operational rules so we can place House Local Bill number 2354 on today's bill calendar for action. So move.
Been
And
a
this
motion,
is, I apologize. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
a motion being offered by the floor leader for the suspension of the pertinent rules to allow the delegation for the placement of House Local Bill 23-54 on today's bill calendar. Do I hear a second?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Being second under discussion. Ready? Clerk, can you please call the roll for this
Senator
motion?
Cruz,
Yes.
Representative San Nicolas,
Yes.
Mr. Chairman.
Again,
Mr. Chairman, all three members voted yes.
with 3 members voting yes, the placement of House Local Bill 23-54 in today's bill calendar is hereby approved. Thank you, members. Moving on to the order of business, item O, reports of special conference committees. Do we have any? There's
We have
none.
Mr. Chairman.
And unfinished business,
We have none.
resolution calendar.
There's none, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, under bill, item R on the bill calendar. The chair recognizes floor leader Cruz for the appropriate motion for passage of 23-71 House Local Bill. Senator Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is for the passage of House Local Bill number 2371, and this is to appropriate $18,000 from revenue collected from poker fees in the second senatorial district and for other purposes. So move.
Been a motion offered by the floor leader for the passage of House Local Bill 23-71. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Under discussion, I recognize Representative San Nicolas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is to offer an amendment for House Local Bill 23-71. On page 2, on section 2 appropriation, line item 6, 7 and 8, 9, and section 3 expenditure authority, line item 11, 12, 13, and to be specific, Mr. Chairman, to the expenditure authority for the funds under section 2A shall be the mayor of Tinian. This will be the amendment for action, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Offered by Representative San Nicolas, and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor for the amendment offered by Representative San Nicolas, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. And now back to the main motion. Any further discussion? Ready? Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Senator Cruz,
Yes.
Representative San Nicolas.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman.
Again,
Mr. Chairman, all three members voted yes.
with 3 members voting yes, House Local Bill 23-71 hereby passes the delegation in the form of delegation or draft 1. Delegation draft 1. Thank you. Moving on. This time, the floor. I recognize the floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is for the passage of House Local Bill number 2354. And this is to impose 0.5% ad valorem local excess surtax for the privilege of importing construction materials from outside the Commonwealth by licensed construction contractors into the second senatorial district. So move.
There's been a motion offered by the floor leader for the passage of House Local Bill 23-54. Do I hear a second to that motion?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Been seconded by Representative San Nicolas. Discussion? Ready? The chair recognizes Representative San Nicolas to offer the. Let's have a short recess. We're back into our session, and at this time, the chair recognizes Representative Patrick San Nicolas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is to offer an amendment for House Local Bill 23-54 is to impose a 0.5% ad valorem local excess surtax for the privilege of construction materials from outside the Commonwealth by licensed construction contractors into the second senatorial district. And in section 2, finding and purposes, line item 9, from outside the Commonwealth. And page 2, line item 12, from outside the Commonwealth. That will be the amendment for today, Mr. Chairman, for its action. Thank you.
The amendment to House Local Bill 23-54 has been offered by Representative San Nicolas. Any comment, further comment? Or rather, all those in favor of the there's been a motion for an amendment to 23-54. Do I hear a second to that motion?
Second.
Second by Senator Cruz. All those under discussion? Nothing further. All those in favor for the amendment offered by Representative San Nicolas, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Back to the main motion. Any further discussion?
Ready?
Ready? At this time, the chair recognizes the clerk to call the roll.
Senator Cruz,
Yes.
Representative San Nicolas.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman.
Again,
Mr. Chairman, all 3 members voted yes.
with 3 members voting yes, House Local Bill 23-54 is hereby passed in a form of draft 1. Or I'm sorry, draft 2. Correction. There's no further items on today's bill calendar under miscellaneous business. Anything? Or announcements? Any announcements? At this time, under you, the chair recognizes the floor leader to offer the appropriate motion to adjourn this delegation session.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to adjourn this delegation session subject to the call of the chair. So move.
Second.
Been a motion for adjournment of this delegation session. Subject to the chair has been seconded. This delegation session stands adjourned, subject to the call at 3:27 p.m. Thank you, Jesus Masi, and Happy New Year, everyone.